Florence is the capital city of the Italian region of Tuscany and of the Metropolitan City of Florence. It is the most populous city in Tuscany, with 383,083 inhabitants, expanding to over 1,520,000 in the metropolitan area. Florence was a center of medieval European trade and finance and one of the wealthiest cities of the time. It is considered the birthplace of the Renaissance, and has been called the Athens of the Middle Ages. Florence originated as a Roman city, and later, after a long period as a flourishing trading and banking medieval commune, it was the birthplace of the Italian Renaissance. According to the Encyclopaedia Britannica, it was politically, economically, and culturally one of the most important cities in Europe and the world from the 14th to 16th centuries. The language spoken in the city during the 14th century was, and still is, accepted as the Italian language. The Etruscans initially formed in 200 BC the small settlement of Fessol, which was destroyed by Lucius Cornelius Sulla in 80 BC in reprisal for supporting the populars faction in Rome. The present city of Florence was established by Julius Caesar in 59 BC as a settlement for his veteran soldiers and was named originally Fluentia, owing to the fact that it was built between two rivers, which was later changed to Florentia, flowering. It was built in the style of an army camp with the main streets, the Cardo and that Ecumenus, intersecting at the present Piazza della Repubblica. Situated along the Via Cassia, the main route between Rome and the north, and within the fertile valley of the Arno, the settlement quickly became an important commercial center. After doubling during the 19th century, Florence's population was to triple in the 20th, resulting from growth in tourism, trade, financial services and industry. Florence lies in a basin formed by the hills of Carigi, Fessol, Settignano, Arcetri, Poggio Imperiale and Bellascarto, Florence. The Arno River, 3 other minor rivers and some streams flow through it. Florence has a humid subtropical climate, slightly tending to Mediterranean. It has hot summers with moderate or light rainfall and cool, damp winters. As Florence lacks a prevailing wind, summer temperatures are higher than along the coast. Rainfall in summer is convectional, while relief rainfall dominates in the winter. Snow flurries happen almost every year, but often result in no accumulation. The highest officially recorded temperature was 42.6 degrees Celsius, 108.7 degrees Fahrenheit, on July 26, 1983, and the lowest was -23.2 degrees Celsius, -9.8 degrees Fahrenheit, on January 12, 1985. Florence is known as the cradle of the Renaissance, La Colla del Rinascimento, for its monuments, churches, and buildings. The best-known site of Florence is the domed cathedral of the city, Santa Maria del Fiore, known as the Duomo, whose dome was built by Filippo Brunelleschi. The nearby campanile, partly designed by Giotto, and the baptistry buildings are also highlights. The dome, 600 years after its completion, is still the largest dome built in brick and mortar in the world. 27. In 1982, the historic center of Florence, Italian, Centro Storico di Firenze, was declared a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. 28. The center of the city is contained in medieval walls that were built in the 14th century to defend the city. At the heart of the city, in Piazza della Signoria, is Bartolomeo Ammanotti's Fountain of Neptune, 1563–1565, which is a masterpiece of marble sculpture at the terminus of a still-functioning Roman aqueduct. The layout and structure of Florence in many ways harkens back to the Roman era, where it was designed as a garrison settlement. Nevertheless, the majority of the city was built during the Renaissance. Despite the strong presence of Renaissance architecture within the city, traces of medieval, Baroque, neoclassical and modern architecture can be found. The Palazzo Vecchio as well as the Duomo, or the city's cathedral, are the two buildings which dominate Florence's skyline. The Church of San Lorenzo contains the Medici Chapel, the mausoleum of the Medici family, the most powerful family in Florence from the 15th to the 18th century. Nearby is the Uffizi Gallery, one of the finest art museums in the world, founded on a large bequest from the last member of the Medici family. The Uffizi is located at the corner of Piazza della Signoria, a site important for being the center of Florence's civil life and government for centuries. The Palazzo della Signoria facing it is still home of the municipal government. Florence contains several palaces and buildings from various eras. The Palazzo Vecchio is the town hall of Florence and also an art museum. This large Romanesque crenellated fortress palace overlooks the Piazza della Signoria with its copy of Michelangelo's David statue as well as the gallery of statues in the adjacent Loggia di Lanzi. Originally called the Palazzo della Signoria, after the Signoria of Florence, the ruling body of the Republic of Florence, it was also given several other names: Palazzo del Popolo, Palazzo di Priori, and Palazzo Ducale, in accordance with the varying use of the palace during its long history. The building acquired its current name when the Medici Duke's residence was moved across the Arno to the Palazzo Pitti. It is linked to the Uffizi and the Palazzo Pitti through the Corridoio Vasariano. Florence contains numerous museums and art galleries where some of the world's most important works of art are held. The city is one of the best preserved Renaissance centers of art and architecture in the world and has a high concentration of art, architecture and culture. There are several different churches and religious buildings in Florence. The cathedral is Santa Maria del Fiore. The San Giovanni Baptistery located in front of the cathedral is decorated by numerous artists, notably by Lorenzo Ghiberti with the Gates of Paradise. Other churches in Florence include the Basilica of Santa Maria Novella, located in Santa Maria Novella Square, near the Firenze Santa Maria Novella railway station, which contains works by Masaccio, Paolo Uccello, Filippino Lippi and Domenico Ghirlandaio. The Basilica of Santa Croce, the principal Franciscan church in the city, which is situated on the Piazza di Santa Croce, about 800 meters, 2,600 feet, southeast of the Duomo, and is the burial place of some of the most illustrious Italians, such as Michelangelo, Galileo, Machiavelli, Foscolo, Rossini. Thus it is known also as the Temple of the Italian Glories, Tempio dell'Ital Glory. The Basilica of San Lorenzo, which is one of the largest churches in the city, situated at the center of Florence's main market district, and the burial place of all the principal members of the Medici family from Cosimo il Vecchio to Cosimo III, Santo Spirito, in the Oltrarno quarter, facing the square with the same name, or San Michele, whose building was constructed on the site of the kitchen garden of the monastery of San Michele, now demolished. Santissima Annunziata, a Roman Catholic basilica and the mother church of the Servite order, Ognissanti, which was founded by the lay order of the Umiliati, and is among the first examples of Baroque architecture built in the city, the Santa Maria del Carmen, in the Oltrarno district of Florence, which is the location of the Brancacci Chapel, housing outstanding Renaissance frescoes by Masaccio and Mussolino da Panicale. Later finished by Filippino Lippi, the Medici Chapel with statues by Michelangelo, in the San Lorenzo, as well as several others, including Santa Trinita, San Marco, Santa Felicita, Badia Fiorentina, San Gaetano, San Miniato al Monte, Florence Charter House, and Santa Maria del Carmen. The city additionally contains the Orthodox Russian Church of Nativity, and the Great Synagogue of Florence, built in the 19th century. Aside from such monuments, Florence contains numerous major squares, piazzas, and streets. The Piazza della Repubblica is a square inches the city center, location of the cultural cafes and bourgeois palaces. The Basilica of Santa Croce, it is a rectangular square inches the center of the city where the Calcio Fiorentino is played every year. Furthermore, there is the Piazza Santa Trinita, a square near the Arno that mark the end of the Via da Tornabuoni Street. Tourism is, by far, the most important of all industries, and most of the Florentine economy relies on the money generated by international arrivals and students studying in the city. In 2013, Florence was listed as the second best world city. Florence is believed to have the greatest concentration of art, in proportion to its size, in the world. Florentine, spoken by inhabitants of Florence and its environs, is a Tuscan dialect and the immediate parent language to modern Italian. Florentine food grows out of a tradition of peasant eating rather than rarefied high cooking. The majority of dishes are based on meat. The whole animal was traditionally eaten. Tripe, trippa, and stomach, lampredato, were once regularly on the menu and still are sold at the food carts stationed throughout the city. Florence has been an important scientific center for centuries, notably during the Renaissance with scientists such as Leonardo da Vinci. Explosion of the cart is a celebration of the First Crusade. During the day of Easter, a cart, which the Florentines call the Brindlone and which is led by 4 white oxen, is taken to the Piazza del Duomo between the baptistry of St. John the Baptist, Battistero di San Giovanni, and the Florence Cathedral, Santa Maria del Fiore. The cart is connected by a rope to the interior of the church. Near the cart there is a model of a dove, which, according to legend, is a symbol of good luck for the city. At the end of the Easter Mass, the dove emerges from the nave of the Duomo and ignites the fireworks on the cart.